Today we will be continuing on with this little series of comparisons featuring Samson Dauda from the 2024 Mr. Olympia event. Where does he rank? Where does he stack among the great ones? Can he defeat Brandon Curry? 2019, he was a one-time Olympia champion, so it will be interesting to see how Samson Dauda stacks against him. And I just recently looked over at Project Bodybuilding starring Dylan, and he posted this exact same video. Of course, he's all up to date with the technology, and he did this fancy little video, music. Of course, he has all that technology. But you know what? Here at Mark's Max Muscle, we can be fancy too and play little vignettes featuring Brandon Curry versus Samson Dauda. Huh? That's the rubber band. Anyway, all seriousness, let's go through these poses one by one. I'll give you my opinion on who I think was better. Samson Dauda, he has that size advantage. He has that condition edge when you look at the wheels. I don't think there's any question. Is there? Well, maybe. Brandon Curry, not Brandon Curry. He's pretty darn good. He is underrated as far as condition is concerned, from the front anyway. What Dorian Yates said about him. Maybe from the back we'll see something different. Look at those bowling balls. Those are swollen bowling balls for Brandon Curry and those bicep peaks. Wow, are they impressive. Upper body, I'd give an edge to Curry all the way. Oh, you see what Curry did there? Little twister, tilted, whatever you would call it. I like it. Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it. It is pretty good. Brandon Curry. He's smaller, a lot smaller. The wheels, things of that nature. But look at that upper body. I think he would beat Samson in the front double bicep pose. Now here's the front lat spread. This is the finals for Curry. As you can see, is he a little more watery than he was in that front double? I would suggest. I don't think his conditioning seems to be as good, and I think the lighting was awesome at the 2019. Some people criticize it. I figured, oh, it looks pretty darn good to me. No big screen behind them anyway. There was lights and stuff, but it wasn't like a moving screen. But anyway, when you look at the upper body, the lats, I would suggest that Brandon Curry, his front lat spread, it is a better pose. Midsection, chest, even the arms look great. But condition-wise, size-wise, and in the wheels, Samson is dominating. And I mean dominating. But is it not worth to mention that Curry's winning both front shots? He's winning the front double, winning the front lat? Kind of, in a way. Judges might give it to Samson. Turn to the side, see if we can get anywhere in this matchup. Curry, one of the best side chests. Still today. At that 2024 Olympia, he still had one of the best side chests. Wow. Samson seems to be in trouble. Styles make matches, guys. Keep that in mind. Just because Curry loses to a guy and Samson beats that guy doesn't mean Curry can't beat Samson. Styles do make shapes. Of course, definitely worth to mention, both of these guys defeated a crisp Hattie Shupin. So I guess you could argue that Brandon Curry is and does rank higher than Hattie Shupin, considering he beat him many times on that Olympia stage. Several anyway. But yeah, I mean, I just have no choice but to give this one to Curry. Even though Samson, loved the way he strikes the pose. He's big, he's tall, he's rangy. But Brandon Curry, a thing of beauty. Just like that Rocky statue in Rocky 3. Here's the side tricep. You guys go watch that Rocky 3. When they unveil that statue, the very first scene, they zoom in on a little drum. A guy playing the drum, and it's signed by Mr. T. He actually signed it, his signature. You guys know that? You guys don't even care about that. Anyway, I just watched it. It's a great film. Great film. Side tricep again. There's a lot of mass, a lot of range. Keep in mind, this is 300 pound. That's my Lou Ferrigno. 300 pound. 300 pound. That's terrible. Is it? I don't know if it is. Not if it sounds like him, it's not. I do impressions. I'm a mockingbird. But anyway, this is 300 pounds of raw meat. More conditioned meat. Now, curry is spread just so. It's like if you butter your bread, you put a little bit of peanut butter on every little inch. Not white bread, mind you. You want like good multigrain. You don't want that old crappy bread. No good for you. No good for you. But yeah, there's peanut butter on every square inch. It's just perfect. But Samson's slice has more of it on there. So take your pick, guys. Take your pick, and it's leaner as well. Go to the back. Wow. This is where poor Curry, and I know I can hear you guys now, but Max Muscle, Samson is way taller than Brandon Curry. I didn't make them that much different in height, especially in the back shots here, because Brandon, he goes straight-legged. Wouldn't be surprised if he was even taller. His back looks good. Looks very good. Spread over a better base, I think, than Samson's. But Samson's, let's face it, I often say when a guy's bigger, his back should be bigger as well. And sometimes we see Hattie's back dwarfing the bigger guy, but that's not the case here. I think these backs are right on par for the size of them. And when it comes to the lower half, I mean, I like Curry and all, but he's beating him. He's beating him bad. Here's the rear dub. I say dub instead of W to save time. Anyway, the arms should be more dominant for Curry, but they're not. And the back should be as well because he's so much smaller. But in the rear double, I think the pose is better for Samson. I think Curry's rear lat was the better of the two. I think by far. Little soft in the lower half, I gotta say. Well, Samson brings he had to bring that dry package to beat the Derricks and the Hatties, and he did. And look at the calves, throwing some giant calves. No ifs, ands, or buts. From the front point of view, yeah, it did look like Curry meant business, and he could have even slipped in a victory, even though he was losing on the legs. But, man, these back shots, that's it. Just, man, these back shots. Here's the abs and thigh. And this is, I don't want to say interesting because there's been so many interesting situations lately, considering Chris Bumstead went to open. But this should be a blowout for the smaller guy. And you know what? This is kind of giving Brandon Curry best case Ontario, because here he is in the prejudging. That was the finals. He was more cut in the finals. His abs were a little smooth. A little too smooth, monsoon, in the prejudging 2019. So I don't want to get my house rocks pelted at it by saying Samson beats Brandon Curry in the abs and thigh, but you tell me who's winning this one. And if you're going to say Brandon, obviously you're not even looking at the screen. You should. The most muscular, Curry finishes strong. Much like he starts off strong. I don't know if he was legitimately winning all of those front shots, side chest, because he was a lot smaller, but in my opinion he was. Condition-wise, not so much. And, oh boy, here's the crab. This is a good one for Curry. Not as big. Not nearly as large stature. He's even bending over a little bit more, but you know what? Shows off those gray big arms. Striations in the chest, traps, and he knocks one out of the park with the most muscular. But you know what? It's just one pose. It's kind of two, but it's really just one, isn't it? And if you add it up, I'd probably give Curry the first three, which is overwhelming at first. It makes you think, well, Curry's winning this one. But then, Samson, in my opinion, he was just too much in that side tricep, and the back shots were a blowout. And then he gets another one in the abs and thigh. So Curry sandwiched it nice with a lot of victories, but it is even as far as that's concerned, and Samson was just so much more conditioned. We have to admit. From behind, he was more conditioned. From the front, even, Curry had those pretty lines, which is remarkable. He'll always be etched in history as one of the prettiest front doubles, side triceps, chest, all those things, all that nature. And let us not mention his weak points. But yeah, Samson would most certainly get a victory over Brandon Curry due to that size and condition. It's bodybuilding, people, not a beauty contest, like I often say. And then I reiterate by saying, well, it kind of is. More so than a weightlifting competition. Samson Dauda scrapes by. Did he scrape by Jay Cutler? I don't know. That's still up in the air. Still up in the air. He could be the 5th best. Mr. Olympia. You had Dorian in there. Could be the... I think he's too much size for Dorian, wouldn't he? Huh? Let me know. Comment section below. Oh, go watch Dylan with all of his technology and boom, 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 or however the music went. And don't forget my rubber band. Have a nice one.